Plead the Fifth, it's just that declaration of kind of being stuck in your own stubborn thoughts and unwilling to show the vulnerabilities that truly lie within, your heart and your soul. All of us have been in that place of having that person that just really, is always pulling at you, and just the unwillingness to accept it, of how you really feel about it. Just Another Girl. It's just a song of attitude. That song started with the guitar riff, and I think that when I was hearing the guitar riff, it was kind of the first things that came to me and Weston Davis's mind of this rapid fire. It put us in that 70s rock and roll kind of place, and it was more of just kind of, you're not what you think you are kind of thing, and you haven't had a hold of me like you think you have. And just trying to really grasp that old school rock and roll feel to it. I've Been Around is pretty much poking fun at myself. Kind of the joke's on me, kind of where my life has gone. Coming from South Georgia, such a slow-paced life, to the things that I find myself and the people that I find myself in the company of now. And just coming from such a simplicity life that I grew up in, and now it's so fast-lane and fast-paced, and I'm kind of just tongue-in-cheek making fun of that situation. People are gonna take this song very literal, when it was never that way for me when I was writing it. It's not about being promiscuous. For me, I've never been one to jump on the same hamster wheel as everybody else. I feel like from the time we're born, we have all these ideals that are pressed on us, and you're supposed to take these steps in your life, and A, B, C, and D, and settle down at this age. And if you're not doing those steps, and you're looked at as the bizarre kind of weirdo. And I've always been comfortable with going through life on my own terms, and when I'm ready for that step, I'll be ready for that step. But until then, I'm gonna keep going along the path I am. And the Fast Women thing was a lot of just looking out into the crowd and seeing everything going on during our shows, and that's more of what that was touching on. Bittersweet Company, my favorite song on the whole record, resonates with me very deeply. It's that place of being stuck, and you can't figure out, you've fallen in the quicksand, and there's no way to get out of it, and you feel yourself just slowly sinking, and you can't seem to find the beauty in the relationship that you once had, and you feel like you've exhausted every angle to try to get back to that place, and you just can't seem to get back to it. If we live life at all, with our hearts, then we've all been in that place at one point or another with somebody. Even the title itself, I tried to make sure that the music and the lyric were yin and yangs of each other, where the music has this very positive, powerful melody with a lyric that's so melancholy and heart-wrenching. Sunburn, I was basically just touching on something I felt many, many years ago. I used to go to Panama City every single summer with a buddy of mine, and when I was about 16, I ran into a girl from Mississippi, and man, it was just my first taste of being so wild about somebody, and what I thought was love at that time in my life, because I'd never felt anything like it. When I initially was playing that guitar riff, the first thing I thought of was that particular time in my life, and for some reason the music made me think of a nostalgic story like that. I'm never gonna be one of those artists that's trying to reach back and be relative to pop culture. Like, I'm gonna write as in terms of how I'm growing and hoping my audience grows with me. I've kind of always had the door shut on settling down and going that, finding that chapter in my life, because I've been so focused on music. And when I was writing that song, that's what I was feeling, is that with all my travels, is just feeling that my heart is changing in that regard, and that I now kind of look forward to that chapter. And it's an open page for me now, is what used to be shut. The song on the record that I did not write. The Bull was the perfect song after coming off of the Wild Ones record that was this massive underground cult-like record that didn't achieve any commercial success. It was my record that galvanized the fan base. And so the Bull was basically my middle finger to anybody that doubted the way that I was going about doing it. Blonde is my dig at the vanity world that we live in now with social media, with people doing whatever it takes to be insta-famous at whatever cost that is with their own soul. I wrote it from just that day. I just had enough at looking at people that I've known, that I didn't know, that are just so consumed with it. I don't think I could take seeing another bathroom or bedroom selfie. I'd had enough, so I had to touch on it in Blonde. Good thing is what it is. At that particular moment in my life, when I wrote that song, I woke up just feeling good about my life in a lot of ways. And I had certain things in my life that were making me see things and view things differently. It was written at a very impactful time during the journey of this record. Last Shot is that thing of, man, if I am losing you, or some people might take it differently, if I am losing you, or if this is my last chance to be with you, how do I want it to be? How do I want this moment to go down? And how do I look at that thing in a metaphorical fashion? And that's where I wrote Last Shot from. Try Again, as the opposite of Plead the Fifth. Plead the Fifth was written before my travels, where I was still stuck in that stubborn place, and Try Again came after the travels, where there was more of a willingness to show the vulnerabilities that I was feeling, and a hope that I approach them differently the next time around. Guitar Man is just a autobiographical song of my life before there was any success, and it's touching on my journey to where I got, how I got to where I got to.